Hey, what's up? I'm Jenna Roselle,
I'm Lisette Palomo.
and today we're going to be talking about the concepts of time. I just moved away from the mic.
Yeah, the concepts of time. Time is an interesting thing. Do you believe in time, or do you think it's we're gonna go right off the
So you just
bat?
asked me if I believe in time?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know how to properly answer that question.
I don't believe in time. Okay, wait. We have to define what time is here.
Okay.
We just made up a measurement so that we can have a better time of telling parts of the day and like calculating and locating parts of the day. But like, who's to say when time actually like you know what I mean?
Okay, so I just looked up the actual definition of time, just out of curiosity. So it's the indefinite continued progress of existence and events in the past, present, and future regarded as a whole.
But it's the way we define when things happen. But that doesn't mean that it's like we made it up.
Yeah, pretty much as a way to keep track of what is happening in the now.
So here's my question.
Oh, no.
A lot of people get upset when I ask this question, and they don't think it makes much sense, but we're gonna go for it. Past, present, future. If time travel exists. I think
it's waving at the guy's back. Sorry. Look, you can see him on the
hello.
camera. I think he's waving to. Okay.
Yeah, it's not working.
It's okay. Oh, okay.
He tried. The effort was there.
Yep.
If time travel exists, does the past, present, and future all exist at the same time?
You're asking me?
I'm asking what you think.
Okay. This is really dumb reasoning, but yes, I do think they all exist at the same time. Because if anybody has watched The Flash, like the show,
great show, highly recommend.
The DC show,
DC Flash on
it's
CW.
such a good show. You would know that like obviously the Flash, Barry Allen. I was gonna say Barry, and I was like, I should explain that.
Yeah, you know him personally. You know my guy Barry.
My friend.
Dear friend.
He like does this thing where he runs in time and like creates another version of himself, which is really like his. You know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about, but that's confusing.
That is confusing.
I don't get the whole remnants.
It's
because so he ran back and he was running really fast, and then he made a remnant of himself. I'm talking about right now. What you just reminded me of was Savitar.
Yeah, there's Savitar, and then there's something else. Like his future self comes back to be like
him again.
Yeah, but if his future self is there at the same time as his present self.
Oh, spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, it's okay. I'm really sorry. Nobody knows what we're talking about if they don't watch the show.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's okay. Anyways, so here's my reasoning for why I think it all exists at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're assuming that time travel exists. If I travel back in time to a place, that place needs to be existing for me to go and be in that moment. No? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's so hard to describe. But like right now, okay, if somebody time traveled, like we're existing right now and we're living life. This is our current life. We don't know the future. We only know what happened and like what's happening at the moment. If somebody from the future time traveled back to us, that means that we're right here and right now living. So they're coming to something that is happening, but they have something happening too. Do you know what I mean? So they came here, like we're existing. So if they time travel back to us, then does that mean that we're not existing? And because they're the future, that's just the set reality?
Oh God, I'm confused.
But do you get what I'm saying, or am I not making sense?
No, I know what you mean.
And like if we go back to the past, because that's the past, and they don't know anything about us in the future, they're living in that moment. That is happening to them. That is their present. But to us, it's past. But to them, it's present.
So this is why to you, all of these things happen like at the same time, like past, present, and future all coexist.
Yeah, but that doesn't. But it's relative to. See, that's where it gets confusing. Then you have to assume that like. And this is going to get really deep and philosophical. I mean, it doesn't have to. But then you're assuming that... So, we're going to get really, like... Because we talked about it today in school.
Wow.
Descartes talks about, as philosophy, The only thing you can prove is the existence of your mind. You cannot prove anything other than the existence of your mind. I think, therefore I am. So, I can't prove that you're a living, like, yes, you're a living being, but, like, I can't prove your true existence.
Okay.
The reason why I bring that in is because if you're going to say the past, present, and future all exist at the same time, then you have to, like, prove that the person living at the time, like, I don't know how to explain it. Never mind. This is getting too complicated. This is why this topic is just very confusing.
It's a very confusing topic. Also, just like a side note on this. You know how you said something about like time traveling? Like if
Yes.
someone in the future could come back to the time now and be like, hey, we learned how to time travel, like why hasn't that happened already? Why hasn't anybody just come up and just be like, hey, I'm from the future?
Well, that's why I said the only way past, present, and future would exist at the same time is if time travel exists.
Okay.
Do you think time travel exists?
I don't think so. I feel like actually no.
And then also you have what was I gonna say? With time. Nope, I forgot. Oh, then okay, this is also another thing then. Ow. Sorry. One thing that I find super interesting is just in general the idea of false memories. I know we talked about the Mandela effect our last show, which is a collective group of people having a false memory about a certain thing. I'm just talking about in general false memories. It's like psychology and it's what we're taught that your memories are not exactly what you think them to be. And you can confuse your memories and your dreams. Also, there's flashbulb memories when you remember something very vividly and you know like where you were, what time of day it was, and all that stuff, when in reality, it's you more remembering. I could also be wrong. Please don't make me sound like really smart. I just learned this. But that you're more remembering the emotion and feeling, and then you're creating and constructing the memory around that. So it's not so much that your memories are like you actually remember the event itself. It's you trying to reconstruct the event and the way you perceived it, not the way it actually was. So then that gets confusing because then it's like, what do we know is true then?
Well, that's
In the
also
past.
why they say like your memories are only like when you remember something, you're only remembering the last time you remembered it. You don't remember exactly the time that it happened. So like over time, things do get morphed in your mind for the most part.
So then how do I know in general that any time before this right now actually existed?
I used to think about this a lot. I was like, someone could have just placed me here right now with these past memories, and I would have no idea.
No, exactly. And it's really weird because, all right, I don't know if this happens to you, but there are times where I wake up in the morning and I like really think, and then like I'm super in thought about the fact that, and like super self-aware that like I'm a human being with a mind and I can think and all this stuff. And there are other people in my life that I just have to trust and hope that they are the same as I am in terms of having a mind and that they're not just there. Like, yeah, we're having a conversation right now and you're answering, but like, who's to say if anything's actually real?
This turned into such a deep conversation.
Like, I love like philosophical stuff like this because, but at the end of the day, you can't answer it.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I don't know if what is it called? Falsification, I think it's called. Like to prove something, you have to prove that it isn't true. Like so, for example, they use the existence of God. You can't say that there isn't an existence of God because you can't prove that God doesn't exist. So you can't say that he doesn't exist because you can't prove that he doesn't exist.
There's
because
that.
people are so quick to say, well, you can't prove he does exist. He, she, however we perceive our God, does exist. So with that same logic, you can't say that he doesn't exist because you can't prove that he doesn't exist. You can't have like factual, solid based arguments on him not existing, just like you can't on him existing. And that's why that's left up for interpretation and like for perception and whatnot. So like that's just the philosophy of it. Like we were talking about that today in class. So then it's like,
What class is this?
My honors class.
Okay.
Yeah, like we talked about that and like how when it comes to that kind of stuff, like we talked about knowledge and the basis of knowledge and how we perceive things as to be true. Do you base your truths off of what society tells you? Like, are you ever really free of thought and you have the ability to think freely on your own and make your own decisions and stuff? I mean, you're influenced a little bit by everything. Everybody just has a different combination of their beliefs. But like that's what we talk about a lot is like free thought. Are you really choosing yourself to think the way you do and have the beliefs you do?
I can't tell if you're actually asking me these questions or these.
And then now I am. Yeah, that was an actual question.
Okay.
Do you think that you honestly have the freedom to choose your own beliefs and to have free thought and to just be able to think what you think as an individual freely? You're choosing everything. There's no not that there's no influence, but there's no like I guess like influence or anything motivating you to choose certain things. Like do you really truly ever have the choice?
No. Like to an extent maybe yes, but like not really. Because there's so many like different influences on the way you think. And so many people telling you all these things and of course you're going to lean towards one of those things. Like you're not fully developing all of these thoughts like on your own.
Yeah. And that's another thing that's like really crazy is like just having a conscious mind in general. Like,
Yeesh.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like going back to the time thing real quick. I never mind. I don't even know like what to like butterfly effect. Ever heard of that?
I
Do you
have,
believe
but
in
I
it?
don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Exactly.
A really quick synopsis of it or summary of it. The butterfly effect is essentially saying that if you were to time travel and change one little thing, such as like something as small as I think it was like killing a butterfly or like something to a butterfly, that will then change
all of the
future.
Yeah.
So then going back to Flash, we're talking about different timelines.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, so different timelines.
This also happened in the Flash. So.
It has to do with because he's so fast, he can time travel because that's how fast he is. Which that's
yeah, he's so fast that he can like turn the world backwards.
But so then we can get really philosophical with this too. So there's different timelines.
Yep.
Based upon what decisions you make. Do you believe in destiny or predestination, where you're meant to be in certain places at certain times and it doesn't matter what decision you make, they would eventually lead you to that decision? Or do you think you really do have different, not lives, but like different timelines in which and do you think every decision you make really plays some type of role in your future?
Also something to go along with this, have you seen what is that Netflix thing? Bandersnatch. It's like the Black Mirror, like
Bandersnatch,
you choose your fate,
great
like, by making
movie.
Yeah, by like making short, minor decisions, and they give you like a whole different outcome every time.
Yeah.
And that's something very real that could happen. Like if you think about sometimes how you meet certain people, like if I had never, like we wouldn't have met if I had never made a last minute decision to live like in the place I did last year, because I was a very last second decision, and that's how I met my roommate at the time, which is how we were introduced.
But I'm not saying that your decisions don't influence the future. I'm saying like you think that like literally me even asking you this question right now, is that determining a future now based on me just asking you this question? Besides you saying, well, yeah, because you're going to answer, that's determined. No, I mean like something, everything following whatever happens after this moment is me having this conversation with you affecting whatever follows.
It could.
So you think every decision you make changes your timeline and changes what? I think, no, I'm not saying that I don't think it. It's just like, it's so hard to think of there being that many possibilities of every little single decision you make going to that. I think that yes, decisions you make are, I keep hitting the microphone, I'm so sorry. That every decision you make, yes, there's different timelines, but I think some of them cross where it's like, you'll go to that point
no matter what. Yeah, that's
or with the certain combination of choices, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Time is weird.
Time is weird.
The whole concept of time and like
the whole thing is just
the whole idea of like just life in general. What's true and what's not, what we accept to be true. The decisions we make and whatnot.
Such a deep conversation. So
yeah,
deep.
I don't know. I enjoy these conversations.
Yeah, I think this was an interesting conversation to have for sure.
So yeah.
Okay, well, make sure to join us next week at the same time on the same day, Thursdays at 7:00, to have more mind-blowing conversations and to talk about stuff that's
Yeah.
gonna make you really think.
It'll make you really think. And to end on a note, I'm gonna tell a joke.
Okay.
Jenna, what do you call a guy with a rubber toe?
Oh my gosh, Roberto.
Roberto.
There
Thank
it
you.
is, yes.
Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Have a great
or great day or great afternoon, wherever you may be. Good morning.
Okay.